Happy born day to me. 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 What's going on, my high vibrational individual expressions of God on earth? Let's get this party started. This is day 351. Day 351 of our 360-day journey. Just finished up the 21-day manifestation class of school. We'll be popping off the new class on Monday. What do we say? What do we say? Oh, early registration for you high vibrational individual expressions of God is, if you register today or tomorrow, I think we said $47. If not, it'll be $97 if that starts Monday. Today we're going to break down, as we get into understanding how important it is to really realize that you don't get what you want, you get what you are. But when we say that, what do we mean? It's like God, the universe, source, the big G. You know, we get hung up on terms and words and vibrations because our ideal of God is a separate frequency wave of vibration. It's very, very difficult for us to understand that really source or God is like a mirror, meaning that God mirrors back to us what we unconsciously are, not what we consciously want. Now that's a tough process, because how do you know what you are unconsciously ordering if it's unconscious? Now the word unconscious means below the threshold of your detection. So the universe is like a big mirror. The only way that I know what I'm unconsciously thinking is by looking at where I'm consciously at. See, reality doesn't lie from the perspective of that you cannot even see, based upon physics, anything that you do not be. That's the rubber meet the road. At the end of the day, you know, we talk about a lot of stuff, and at the end of the day, and thank everybody so much for all the birthday love and the birthday wishes. I know my niece / daughter's birthday's coming up, Bianca, and my sister's birthday's coming up. My sister Brenda, my wife Dee, her birthday's coming up. There's a lot of birthdays in September. I mean, our parents was busy in I guess December, January time frame. But we're here. So I'm so thankful that I'm still in the land of the living, and I'm thankful that everybody on this call, thank you guys so much for sending me all the birthday love. And I got the $10 offer as my gift back to you. The $10 for today. Any book that I've written over the last 30 years is available for only $10, as well as the $47 enrollment for the new class versus $97. But the most important thing is, as you sit here and you listen to me, we all are in different stages of development. We all would like to, some of us anyway, you know, we would like to, I'm going to use the word be in a different space or a different place, or you could kind of say that there is another vibration that we would like to express, meaning that where you are right now, look at the car you drive, look at the house you live in, look at the job you work, look at your body, take your clothes off, stand in the mirror. You know, how satisfied are you with your reflection? When you stand in the mirror, how satisfied are you with your reflection? And one of the things I'm thankful for is that I don't really look my age when people tell me how old I am. When I tell people how old I am, I'm thankful. But remember where that comes from. That comes from having put my life on hold, and I honestly have a mental disposition. So I'm existing the essence of my being. The first core concept that you have to understand that took me a while to really wrap my brain around is who you are being refers to your state of your inner self. It basically includes all of your life experiences, all the lessons that you've learned, your religious and spiritual beliefs, your energy and or AKA your emotional state. The most important thing is how you visualize or process events that happen. That's your intent. All of that makes up what is called your vibrational signature. Out of everything that we are talking about today, one of the things that's the most important is your vibrational signature. You sign off vibrationally or vibrationally everything that happens to you. You have to verbally agree to it. You can't see anything that you do not vibrationally manifest. This is the path of manifestation. So this entire year, that's what we've been talking about. The last 21 days, we went deeper. The next 21 days, or the next 3 days, I should say, the next series, we're looking at how they take this process and put it into a machine. There's a new movie coming out called The Creator. I already know what it's about the artificial intelligence. They take over the world. And I think it comes out on the 28th or the 29th of September. I'm gonna be right there on front row watching that. Because I already know what that movie will be about, or going to be about. It's about what we're going to be talking about in the next class, which is artificial intelligence is a large language model. It is literally mechanical you, but you literally are words that put on what you and I call flesh. So this is, Homo sapiens, because there was Homo sapiens, then there's Homo sapiens sapien. So what's coming up next is Homo sapien sapien sapien. That's this is humanity 3.0. And it's interesting as we go through this process, you are now in the ability, and you have the ability right now as we speak to do what Jesus did. So Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, and all of our spiritual leaders, ancestors, whatever you guys want to call them, they were individualized. They had a pure essence. They saw themselves as the universal reservoir of power. They saw themselves as being an extension of or being one with the Ruach and the Pneuma. They had the same disposition that I'm expressing to you today. Now, whether you believe in all of the other guys and gals that existed, that's another study for another time, because all it is just whatever part of the country that you was born in, you would have that belief system, whether it's Vishnu, where it's Rama, where it's Buddha, whether it's Jesus, whether it's, one of the pharaohs. It just depends on your knowledge of the universe. Your knowledge of God depends on where you were born. It depends upon what you were taught. It depends upon your state of being. So what we're talking about is you have a state of being. That's what you get. You don't get what you order. You get what you are. So what we're talking about, okay, well, what are you, and can you change who you are? For years, I was under the impression that you was, like my grandmother told me, boy, you make your bed, you're going to lie. You got to lie in it. And now I understand that that's not entirely true. That was true for their generation, but remember, this is the age of the water bearer. This is the age where a source is pouring out water on all flesh. So if you're ignorant today, it's not because the knowledge is not available. Ignorance now is a conscious selection. You choose not to pick up a paper or read or study and expand your knowledge or your consciousness. I know if I can find information and study it, and that's what the 300 books that I've written over the last 30 years is a culmination of everything that I've read and studied from, going all the way back to some of the things that I've talked to you guys about when I was talking about numbers. The thing that really, really stands out to me when I talk to people, and everything that I talk about, there's this book called the Book of Wisdom. That's an old ancient text, an old book. And it's kind of like the book of creation. We could talk about, for example, the book of herbology, one of the books that Dr. Sadie recommended that I read way back in the day. That book, back in the 1600s, that was considered demonology. If you had that book, you was considered a witch. If you knew root cutting, if you could go out to the forest and find a leaf or a tree, bring home and heal somebody, you was a witch. If they caught you, your ass got burned at the stake. Just because you have knowledge. The shit is no different today. If you got knowledge outside of Christianity, you are a demon, a wizard, Satanist, Lucifer. You're a bad guy because you understand what is called the strength of the vibration of numbers. It's also the title of another book. Another book that I read from back, again, like in 1630 was called The Magic, or the Modern Day Book of Secrets. But you know what, the whole Magic or Modern Day Book of Secrets, another ancient book that I read many, many moons ago, that whole book is about herbs. It's about plants. And it's interesting that that book is considered an occult book by, like modern day Christians. There's another book called The Mystery of Sound. The book is about cymatics, science. If I make music. So it's interesting that depending on who you talk to, music is even of the devil. It's evil. It's depending on who you talk to. Now, I can say that maybe that's certain kind, maybe hardcore metal. So what am I saying? That's being. So being means that you have something that you believe. That's what being means. Being means belief. It doesn't mean true. It just simply means that you hold these truths to be self-evident. That's what you order. That's how you order. You could be black, but you could order white. You could be white and you could order black. Being and ordering is not the same thing. Being and desire and intention is not the same thing. The essence of your being, that's your true nature that you hide from everybody else, including yourself. So the universe reflects back to you who you truly are in your core, inner, unconscious state. Because it's inside of you and it's unconscious. Remember, the word unconscious means below the threshold of your perception and your reality. That's why you see, like I would love to go back, go home more. Home was like where I grew up. Every time I drive the Prairie View, I drive through, purposely sometimes I drive through, there's this road 359 that my grandmother lived on, and I'll take 359 just to go through, Brookshire and Simonton, and, well, not necessarily Simonton, but some of the small towns that was close to, especially like Katy. It ain't really that small anymore, but the hood, the ghetto part is still the same. It hasn't changed. Like Negroes still doing the same stuff. Why? There's no expansion of consciousness. There's no expansion of knowledge. She's still trapped in Groundhog State. And it's interesting that knowledge is demonized. I'm not talking about, we'll encourage our children to go to college, but we want to encourage them to expand their essence, to challenge their core beliefs. Something as simple as diet. Why do we continue to eat the slave diet? Not that it's good or bad, but have you ever asked yourself the question? So at the core of all overstanding, another word for understanding, at the core is the concept of being. So we never question or examine or analyze the core concept of who we are being. Who are you being? That reflects the state of your inner self. That reveals to me your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your intention, your vibrational signature. So your vibrational signature is how you order. You do not order when you pray. You don't order when you fast. You don't order when you do. That's not what you get from God or the universe. Because that's conscious. So you can say mantras every day. That's why people don't change, because they never examine their core self, their core being. So what I did was I just looked at myself, and there were certain attributes and characteristics of myself I didn't like. Then there were certain other attributes and characteristics of myself that I did like. So the things that I did not like, I set up a system, a step-by-step process that allows me to change that core inner self. So that way my vibrational signature that I send out into the universe, into the cosmos, this is how I connect with God. It's a frequency that resonates. So any other frequency that is similar to my internal frequency that is in the external world, say, hey, Doc is calling us. Now remember, all of this is going on below the threshold of your detection. So you calling stupid, not you personally, I'm just using that as an example, and then stupid shows up, and then you wondering why stupid is there. Stupid comes up and say, hey, he knocks on your door and say, hey, I'm here. And you're like, what the hell are you doing here? You don't even know you ordered stupid. Like more bills than money show up. And you're like, why I got more bills than money? And you keep having him. And it's crazy, no matter how much money you get, the bills always rise so that where you always have more bills than money because you keep ordering more bills than money. So the whole purpose of manifesting is to analyze our state of ordering, which is our state of being. Because you don't get what you want, you get what you are. You don't get what you pray for, you get what you emit. So you can bind demons, you can fast, you can pray, you can preach, you can turn over chairs, you can shout. Ain't nothing happening until you change your core being. That's why I love psychology. I love psychology because it gets into the core of your cognitive disposition. Cognition is, especially, I wish this was taught, especially in the hood, especially with black folks, because black people, we don't really do psychology. If something's going on, go to the hood right now and say, yo, Nico, you need to see a therapist. People going to look at you and laugh. It's funny because we were talking to my bonus daughter, she up at Prairie View, and, all the little girls, in her little group, she's thinking about pledging and all of this stuff, and she talks about, her life. And all her friends, they all say, well, that's what white people would do. So Janiyah's talking, I said, yeah, so what'd you do for your graduation? She said, yeah, well, me and my family, we went on a cruise. I said, y'all did what? She just said, there's like 15 friends, they're all black, black in their Prairie View. Historically black college in Texas. So they sitting around, and Janiyah was telling them, well, what's your life was like? What's your dad do? What's your mom do? What y'all do? And she's telling them about their life. They share, they meet, they getting to know each other. And they sitting around, and they're all like, ugh. So she calls back, and she's like, all my friends, and it's crazy because, like, when I came back, and I remember going to the church, and all my cousins was like, you sound like a white dude. I'll never forget the first time I came to San Antonio, and I was telling them my dreams, like, yeah, I want to buy. Back then, I was in the real estate. I was buying houses, and I was, saving my money, and I was starting businesses, and they were like, ugh, you sound like a white dude. So now she got dreams and goals, and she's like, well, I want to be an MD. I want to be a medical doctor. She's taking pre-med, and all of black friends are like, ugh, you just white people. We don't do that. And it's so funny because and I used to tell them that. I think I told my kids is that, like, everybody's saved ain't your version of saved. And everybody's black ain't your version of black. And everybody's white ain't your version of white. Or everybody's Hispanic ain't your version of Hispanic. So no matter what your race or what that is, that's being. So Janiyah's over here being black. And then she go meet other people that's being black. And they're like, ugh, you ain't black. And so now she's dealing with the whole, she's like, I need some advice. Like, all her friends were like, we were down there last weekend, and they're like, ooh, Your mom and dad's rich. They drive a Cadillac. I'm thinking like, damn, they should be my sister Brenda. Like, Brenda, how many Cadillacs you had? Then I think about it, I was like, damn, you know what? When they were talking about it, I think when black folks arrive, quote unquote, you know, they usually buy a Cadillac. Like, we didn't think, we just bought the car because it had a warranty and it was the least expensive one on the lot. But we drive up there and take Janaya shopping, buy like $200-300 worth of food. Food was gone in a week. Like 15 girls up in there and ate up all Janaya's food. So she's calling, she's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, she has a cousin that has a car. None of the girls, because they are freshmen, none of the freshmen have a car. So Janaya is the only one that has access to a vehicle. And so now she's like having a problem going out to eat. Because if she goes out to eat, all her friends like, we going out to eat. She burning through money and food like it's no, because you know what it's like. And like, she didn't grow up in the hood, so she don't know how black people are. They're your friends. Remember I told you guys yesterday? I keep telling you guys. I mean, y'all already know this. Y'all, you know, we all grown. We already went through this already. People are loyal to you, but they ain't. People are loyal to their need of you. The moment that they don't need you, they ain't loyal to you. I told my kids that, and they all laughed. Oh, no, Dad, it's not like that. They're my friends. Really, my kids, because they was, you know, they have white. So they went to college thinking white folks was going to just let them into the club. Really, my son Kendrick, he got his ass up at the UT. Man, I said he dropped his whole major, changed them down and dropped out of school. So they had him taking tests twice, and it had to be proctored. Somebody had to sit there and watch it because he was acing engineering tests. And it was like, there's no way you ace the test. Retake the test. He got tired of questioning his intelligence. They didn't question white kids' intelligence, but they didn't question his intelligence. So they said, Dad, I'm tired of this shit. I said, Dad, you should try living in that culture. You know, you could kind of pass and be tough, but you could kind of get by hanging out with white folks. What's the point? See, I got a state of being it's totally different from yours. My mindset, even right now, I could go to another I can move to Oklahoma tomorrow. Go to the Oklahoma, but the black people in Oklahoma, they ain't like the black people in Texas. I can go to Mississippi, and I guarantee you, the way people think in Mississippi is not the same way I think here in Texas. Even though we are black, it's different kinds because it's consciousness. This is not race. Like, this is the greatest lesson because, you know, children think, like I thought when I was a kid, all black people are black people. All white people are white people. All Hispanic, or whatever your race, you just go somewhere and just think, oh, yeah. You see somebody that look like you and you think they like you. Ooh-wee. And it's because, we all, most of us are parents, so you prepare your children for the world, right? But you can't prepare them for all versions of the world. Neither can you. So your mental fortitude must be rooted and grounded in the kingdom of God. Because the kingdom of God is within. That means that you are authentic. Because remember, authenticity is the only thing based upon physics that has what they call higher than speed of light travel. So it travels faster than love, what we call love. Why? Everybody's definition of love is different. But when you tap into your true core authentic self, you get out of your ego and you get into God. God is the same. Yesterday, today, and forever. Once you tap into the universal unified field of physics, that is beyond love. Because I may think that like today's my birthday. So my wife's definition of love is like She's a four. She likes to do. So she buys stuff, goes places, do stuff. That's not my definition of love. So every birthday is a struggle for her because she's like, I don't understand. How come you don't like to be celebrated? But yeah, remember, I didn't grow up either having birthdays. Nobody celebrated me as a kid, so it's just kind of freaky. 25 years of my first marriage, you know, I didn't come home on my birthday and like, hey, happy birthday, balloons and candles, surprise parties, and, you know, buying fancy watches and expensive cologne. I ain't never had that. So that's all Greek to me. Now my wife, she grew up like that. A birthday is a big deal for her. So I got to make hers like that, and I tell her I just want to stay at home and do a show. She's like, are you serious? She's like, what we going to do today? I'm ready to go. She was sitting over the bed like at 5 a.m. this morning singing, happy birthday, and all of, and I'm like, what are you doing? I just rolled and went back to sleep. So she gets real depressed on my birthday. So she gets mad. She don't understand. I don't understand how come. Like, it's a big deal. Like, for real? Like, my birthday, shit, we got fucking beat over my birthdays. I don't remember having, nobody celebrated me as a child. So what am I talking about, though? That's my life experiences based on my interpretation. Now, remember, your memories, they say 90% of your memories is flawed. That means 90% of what I remember didn't really happen. That's crazy. We make up our memories. So if you can make up your past, you can make up your future. And it'll come to pass. That's how powerful you are. You literally, that's why I keep telling you guys, man, if y'all can get this, I'm telling you, this is part of the 21-day manifestation school. We broke this down on day 13. What was day 13, 14, one of those. You give everything that happens to you its meaning to you. So events, they don't affect you. You affect them. Now, it took me a long, I was like, no, that's not true. I don't assign meaning to everything that happens in my life. And then I listened to some of the psychology behind how the brain works. See, this, all my beliefs, if you want to use that term, it doesn't come from religion. It comes from the human anatomy. Because one thing science tells us, like I was telling you guys about that experiment that they did with the rats. Before they did it on people, they put all the rats in the room, they gave the rats some cheese, they ate the cheese, they got shocked. Next day they gave the rats some cheese, they ate the cheese, they got shocked. They gave the rats some cheese, they ate the cheese, they got shocked. Then the rats, they gave the next day they come in, they gave the rat says, fuck the cheese. And then they did not get shocked. So they put the cheese in there. The rats wanted the cheese. But they realized, as we all know, pain versus pleasure. What amount of pain are you willing to put up with to experience pleasure? Human nature is no different. But the thing that blew away the researchers was the rats had babies. They put their babies in their cage. They put the cheese in there. The baby says, fuck the cheese. The babies did not have to go through the experience. The experience, remember, this is how the psychology, the word, and I wrote books about this shit years ago. So what experiences did your mother and father have that you inherited without even going through it? Both positively and negatively. That's what I mean. That's how you order. So it's almost like you not ordering, your mom and your daddy's ordering. So I was always like baffled. Every time I would go see my biological father and we would sit down and exactly what he does, I do the exact same thing. The only thing that I don't do that my biological father did was drink. And toward the end of his life, he didn't drink either. I mean, my toes popped. I lost my hair. The time that I divorced my first wife, my second wife, Dee, looks almost exactly like his second wife, Betty Sue. We eat sugar late at night. I mean, watch the same types of movies. I mean, saying we have the same taste in cars. I mean, I brought my Camaro coming in, like, boy, I always wanted to give me one of these. We both was in law enforcement, and so, like, he got pictures of himself in his uniform. It's like, am I living my life? And am I fucking a clone of my dad? I wasn't even raised. I mean, I didn't even live with the dude that long. How do I got all of his mannerisms and everything? This shit is crazy. Then my bonus son, when Janiyah graduated, that was the first time that I had met him. And I looked at Alec, and I looked at him, and I was like, damn, his mannerisms. Now, remember, I'm raising him, but he does everything that his biological father does. And he don't even live with him. Now, there's a whole science behind it, but what are we talking about? We're talking about the essence of being. That's why I did not allow him to call me dad. They call me Mr. Will. Because he always got a daddy. Now, I love him like a son. He loves me like a father. He bought me my birthday card. On the card, it says, thank you, Dad. I get it because, hey, I'm doing everything that a dad would do. But I know he needs to know his biological dad because he gets sick, his mannerisms, everything that he does is exactly like his biological father. That is the state of your inner self. That shit is passed down from generation to generation, like it says in the Bible. So that's your frequency signature. That is a resonance that draws to you similar frequencies in the external world. So the internal frequency attracts the external frequency, and you don't even know it. You just go through life. Like I get up every night, and I go into the kitchen and I start scrambling around, like looking for something sweet. Why do I do that? Since 5, I've been doing it. Well, you can hang out with my biological father for about 2 days, you'll say like, damn. When I was a kid, we knew when my father was coming into the room because his toes were popping. My kids today laugh about when they was kids. They say, yeah, Dad, we knew when he was coming because your toes give you away before you show up. Your feet, your feet make weird noises when you walk. I was like, damn. When I was a kid, me and my brothers and sisters, we knew when our biological father was walking around in the middle of the night because his toes popped. This shit's exactly the same. So that would be good to know. See, the state of your inner self, your vibrational signature that you emit out into the universe, that frequency, that should pass down from generation to generation. And you can affect it. You can use epigenetics, which is what I did. I rewrote the script. So the universe mirrors. You manifest your mirror. You don't manifest things. If you could, it's almost impossible, but if you could, sit down, get out of your ego, especially if you were like me and you grew up just having a disdain for your family or for your parents, we'll put it that way. I don't know. There's very few kids who I meet that will say, oh, yeah, I love my mom and my daddy. We had a perfect childhood. We all came from varied and colorful backgrounds. But in essence, the universe responds to your background, not you. This should have changed your life, I'm telling you. And see, I don't really have no memories of my mom. I don't know why. My brothers and sisters had more, but I guess because things affected me differently. At least that's what the therapist told me way, way back in the day. Well, yeah, it's not what happens, it's how you perceive it. So, and I thought about it, I'm like, that's true. Your perception is your reality. Because remember, you define the meaning. Like today, I define the meaning of a birthday. To me, the birthday to me is just another day. But bring my wife in here. Birthday to her is like, woo, party time. Where's the balloons? Where's the sparkly, bubbly? Let's party. Let's go out, buy shit. Let's celebrate. And I'm like, what are we celebrating? Perception is everything, man. The universe responds to that. It doesn't respond to what you're thinking and what you're saying, and you praying and you believe in God. You got a mantra. You're saying that I am, and we've been talking about doing this class, don't mean shit. Unless you add emotion. Unless you're in a elevated emotional state, you cannot override the current habit pattern. The universe responds not to your words or your wishes, but to the profound energy of being. Your being state. That's why the most important thing is, as I've been saying for 30 years, Jesus got his power because Jesus said, when you see me, you see the Father. He self-identified with the Father. Now, some say he was the Father, made flesh. Non-issue to me, but that's both the same. He chose or he was. At the end of the day, he had a cognition. He had a cognitive belief that he said, I am God in the flesh. That's what he believed, because that's what he said. But he said, when you see me, you have seen the Father. Now, my English is not that good, but basically saying that me and the Father are one. He said that in the Bible too. So what if you said that? Now, according to the brain and the modern biology, the reticular activating system, epigenetics, everything that I've read and studied, neuro-linguistical programming, how language works, especially diction. Diction is sound quality and sound quantity. The Bible says faith comes by hearing. What comes by hearing? Faith. So if I keep hearing, I am an individual expression of God on earth. It didn't say get some facts first to see if that shit is true. It didn't say it. That's not what it said. Hebrews 11 is called the Faith Hall of Fame. Everybody in that whole chapter, they had pistis, pistuo, and pytho. They didn't have truth. They had diction. Diction is the ability to program the brain to believe. It's the process of programming your mind with words. Diction. That's why we get the word addiction. So if you understood the state of being in contact with Source through spiritual diction, which creates addiction, you become addicted through the words that you say to yourself when you are in an elevated emotional state. It's called intonation or neuro-linguistical programming. Now, intonation, look at the word, in, tone, tune, a nation. So it means to get in tone or to get in tune. Now, the dominant culture, they teach this at Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Brown, and every other place, but no, Negroes don't know this shit. Now, I went to school when I was stationed in California many moons ago, and I took neuro-linguistical programming. Look at the words. Now, the sun sends us, and it hits your skin, and it's transferred. So you receive a photon, and the body can't use it until it's transferred into a neurological photon. So phonon and photon does you no good until it hits your eardrum and it's transferred into a neuron. What is artificial intelligence made up of? Mechanical neurons, which I will prove starting on Monday. So you can affect your neurons. This is how you manifest. I'm trying to help you. That's what the Bible says faith comes by hearing. And hearing by the word of God. But what we did is we externalized God. So that neuters your power. It's called Verbology 101. Now, whether you agree with it or not, I didn't create the system. Jesus said, where is the scribe? Where is the wise men of your time? Is not the world's wisdom foolishness? However, I'm paraphrasing, I'm still going to use the system. At the Tower of Babel, he used that system. That's not his system. His God's system is spirit. God is spirit, because of the Bible. Those that work for him, worship him, must worship him in spirit. And it says nothing about verbs. frequencies, waves, and vibrations, unless you understand what a spirit is. So once you understand it, hold up, time out, time out, time out. You mean to tell me that the Bible and the Codex Gigas is saying the exact same thing? The devil's Bible? If you understand linguistics. Unfortunately, most Negroes don't. That's why I did a whole book on, because I didn't. That's why I remember where I came from. You don't trust, believe no mother beep. How come? Well, they lick you in the face, smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Y'all remember that song? Stop playing. No, Dr. Martinet, you want to do a solo, Dr. Martinet? I have Dr. Martinet. Dr. Martinet can sing for real, y'all. She can sing it for us. So what are you saying, Doc? Well, I'm saying that you literally are a god or a goddess because you literally can perform the same attributes and characteristics of a god or a goddess. Because God says, let there be. And then you got to look at what follows after they say, let there be. Now, he can say, for example, let there be light. Remember Genesis 1? Everybody know that. So God said, let there be light, and there was light. Notice the creation formula. Then in verse 4 said, God saw the light. The light was good. Then he separated the light from the darkness. So hold up. So the darkness was inside of the light. Ooh-wee, not for another time. But he said it was all good. So he said to the darkness and the light, yin and yang, up, down, happy, sad, fat, skinny, opposing forces. You got to read. Remember, when you read, you got to read what you read. It's like the difference between listening and hearing. Another study from another time. So verse 5 in Genesis 1 says, God called the night day. So he described meaning. He assigned meaning to everything. That's what you're supposed to be doing, homie. God called the light day. And the darkness, he called it night. And that was evening, and that was morning, and that was the first day. So we can go through the whole creation. So anybody know, this is how I learned how to create. I went to the Helios and said, hey, hold up. How does God bring shizness into this realm? I don't know about you, but I want to learn from the best manifester. And there's a lot of manifesting techniques, but I didn't want no techniques. I wanted to be number one, programming. Number 2, operating system. Number 3, hardware. So computers are reverse engineered people. If you understand how computers work, which we start on Monday, class, $97. You pay early registration today, it's $47, 50%. If you can wrap your brain around it, no, we're not doing that triple chocolate. And I'm just saying. Okay, sounds good, baby. Every 2 minutes. All righty, so back to the script. Thank you, baby. She's dropping Alec off at school. So let me make sure we understand. If you be yourself, if being yourself means unique and authentic, you love yourself, put yourself first. It's not ego, arrogant, cocky, none of that stuff. It simply means that you got 2 options. You take your time, you take your energy and your money, and you give it to the reverend, the doctor, the bishop. You give it to your job. You spend more time and more energy, like kind of like with your money. Have anybody ever done that? You know, kind of see where your money goes. Take out a journal, and every penny that you spend, you write it down. You should do that for a week if you've never done that. It's kind of interesting. You get to really see where your money goes. Well, you should do the same thing with your time. You should keep a journal. See how much time you spend on yourself. You would be dumbfounded. In a day's time, especially if you are a mother and you work full time. So if you're a mother, like my daughter Charlotte, I think about she's pregnant right now. getting ready to have the first grandson. Her and Sheree both pregnant at the same time, and they both pregnant with boys. For that, I had all girls. So she still works, business, she's a wife, she got all that stuff. So, Sade, how much time you spend on Sade? Now, there's only 24 hours in a day, so you cannot not take care of her. It's like she got babies. Like Santana's like, Sade, how old is Santana now? Santana's still a baby. She's just making room for the new baby. So that means Santana can only be about 8-9 months. Probably coming up on a year old. Then we got Skylar. Skylar's a baby. So Sade technically got 3 babies under the age of 5. And she's a mother and a business owner. Multiple locations. And how many coaches you got now, Sade? Like what, 20 people working underneath her? Probably more than that. So when does Sade have time for Sade? So if Sade does not figure out how to put Sade first, Sade gonna be in trouble. Why? Sade has to make time for herself. That means that the babies will have to be able to cope. Thankfully, got the oldest, Sienna's pretty smart. She's pretty bright. And, our son-in-law, Java, he's a pretty good dude. He holds down a fort. So can it be done? With effort, yes. It's not going to happen automatically. So she has to write that code. It's not going to happen automatically. See, everybody on this call, you have to now consciously write a new program to override the existing program. Otherwise, the existing program keeps running in the background. The existing program will keep running in the background unless you address it by pulling it out and rewriting, because you are the programmer, the code writer. You're also the operating system. But the operating system, your software, you wrote it. Now, you don't remember writing it. So what I'm telling you today is consciously look at how you make money, how you generate money. If it's working and you like it, you're good, move on to health component. If the health component is good, move over to the wisdom component. If the wisdom component, the way that you gather facts, information, the way that you analyze your existing information, the way that you live your life, the way that you celebrate, like today is my birthday. The way that I celebrate my birthday is totally different from the way my wife celebrates my birthday. But that's me. Thankfully, she's, took us a while to get here, but now she lets me not do nothing on my birthday because that's how I celebrate. Then relationships, same thing. Took us a while to figure out the relationship thing. That's why, remember, so I packed my shit up and left 4 times. I totally just left, moved in with somebody else. Did it the first time, my first marriage, same thing. Because remember, I'm a runner. I used to suffer from destination addiction. I'm retired now. Because what did I do? I had to rewrite the script. I had to come up with a different system. When a disagreement happened in a relationship, it doesn't mean pack your shit and leave. What does it mean? Sit down and talk. So I had to come up with a way, okay, how does that look like? So I had to go out and find other people, which I couldn't find very many, who knew how to have a disagreement and agree to disagree with each other and still love each other. That was hard for me. Why? I had no frame of reference. I didn't see that shit growing up. I don't know nobody in my family that I have a relationship, they have a marriage that I would model my marriage after. So I had to do some research. One of the books that changed my life was Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. That's like the Bible for me for psychology, because I'm a psychologist. At the core, at the base, I love psychology. Why? It explains how human nature works, and it's 100% accurate. 100%. That's why I love psychology. Because if you get 100 people in the room, 99 out of 100 are going to do the same thing. There's always one exception. There's always an exception to the rule. I'm not worried about that guy. I'm worried about the 99. And one thing about human psychology is that we all seek to be understood first instead of seeking and instead of listening to understand. So I had to change. I had to stop promoting myself in a relationship because that's what I was doing wrong. I had to be heard. I ain't gonna fuck about your beliefs. It was like, hey, listen, my feelings is hurt. Yeah, but my feelings hurt too. Well, nobody cares about your feelings. This is Willie's world. It's all about Willie over here. Well, if you want to be married, that ain't gonna work. So I had to learn. Okay, hold up, time out. I'm listening to reply. I'm not listening to learn. That's the only way I save my marriage. That's the only way relationship works. Then I had to study like men are from Mars and women are from Venus. What does that mean? That means men and women see the world totally different. I had no clue that men did not want to be loved. Men don't want love. Ladies, let me let you know, newsflash. Because I thought men wanted to be loved. Because that's what I thought. But I noticed everybody that I cheated with women who respected me. I've never met a man that cheated with a woman because she had big titties and a big ass. Every man cheats because when he go home, now remember, he set the environment up, and then he gets pissed off because of the environment. Every man does that. Every man will set up an environment that justifies his, I'm going to use the word, I should be giving away out. This is a man code. So men, don't hate me because I'm giving away our secrets. See, men are, we very smart. We're going to tell you we're going to cheat, but we're going to tell you in code. And then we're going to tell you what shit I told you, you just weren't listening. Then we're going to set up the culture and the environment that empowers us to cheat. Because we need you to give us the okay before we cheat. And you do. You just don't know you do. Every man does that. I know 0 men that don't. Now, the men that don't, there's not very many of them out there, but the ones that don't do that, you know why they don't do that? Because they got lucky and they found a woman that for some reason admires the fuck out of him. She looks at him in a way that no other woman does. I didn't notice that until we opened the coffee shop. And people used to come in and get mad at my wife. And other women would tell her, there's this one woman I always remember, because she was one of the, I probably shouldn't say her name, and she used to get mad at Dee. And you shouldn't, don't be fucking looking at him like that. And me and Dee would be like, what? I said, nope, don't look at him like that. Because that's the look of admiration. You see the king, not the boy. See, everybody else, they looked at me and said, that's Willie, man. He's fucked up, man. He this, that, and the other. Everybody said, that's old badass Willie. But there's some women that can see the king is buried inside of the boy. Now, unfortunately, that don't stop the man from cheating. The only way a man won't cheat is when he has respect and purpose. If he got purpose and no respect, he out. If he has respect and no purpose, he out. He has both. He got to have both. He got to have the respect from you, but he got to give the purpose to himself. That's why men cheat. No man will cheat if he comes home and he the man. He feels like I'm the man. And his wife treats him like he's the man. That nigga ain't going nowhere. In fact, you follow your ass around in broad daylight. You will not be able to go nowhere without that nigga. He's going to be stuck by your side. Why? He knows he's a man, and you knows he's a man. So when you go out in public, you don't see no other man. You got eyes for no other man except for him. That Negro ain't going nowhere. Why? Feeling. He has a being state. He's being what God designed and given him to be. That's why God put men on this planet. Just like lions. Lions are the head of their pride. The reason that the lions are the head is because all of the lionesses, they see that lion as a provider and a protector of the home. That makes him feel like, okay, so he goes out and his purpose is fulfilled because the woman fulfills the purpose. And it works in reverse too. But a lot of women make the mistake of getting a yes man. And ladies, if you marry a yes man, you're going to disrespect that man. Because women, you don't want a yes man. You want a real man. You may think you want a boy, but when you get a boy, that activates your maternal instinct, and you treat that boy like a boy. Then he's going to cheat. Any woman that marries a yes man, she's going to take care of that man. Because you're a woman. You naturally are a nurturer. Men, I don't want to be cared for. I want to be respected. Thankfully, I am. That's why I'm married. But guess what? Every day you got to choose the same thing. That's how the world works. I never knew that your life could be going perfect for 20 years. And then on year 21, you could wake up and decide not to see the worth and value in your man. And you just stop. That's the hardest thing to wrap my brain around when I see 20, 30, 40-year marriage and then they get divorced. Until I learned why. Money is no different. You could be going around good. You could be balling out of control. But the day that you forget that the universe responds to a made-up mind, your money is gone. It's leaving. Because the universe is nothing but a reflective mirror. The universe is a mirror. All the universe does is the internal being state attract the external manifestation state. If your internal being is blurry, if your concept of who you are and what you want is blurry, then the universe is going to mirror or send back to you blurry. You see, when you understand that the universe doesn't respond to your desires and your wishes and your dreams and your hopes and your mantras and your manifest, all the shit that you're doing, God, the universe, it doesn't give a beep. You know what God only responds to? God only responds to himself or herself. When God says, oh, there I am over there, and he, remember, vibrational equivalent. God doesn't give no prevalence to your teachings or your religion. He don't care less. God doesn't need your worship, your money, your time, everything that y'all do. God doesn't need it. He's not interested. Your devotion and all that shit, God ain't interested in that. If you look at I'm going to use the word spiritual or cosmic relationship, it's based upon energy. The universe responds to energy. Now, we call that energy consciousness, but the universe, God only responds to energy or consciousness or awareness or perception that you emit. What do you mean emit? That you send out. What do you mean send out? Oh, you don't know that you are sending out an order based upon how you are being, not how you are thinking. So your unconscious has a personality, for lack of a better term. We call it a ruling disposition. Y'all call it a spirit. So remember, this is unconscious. So your unconscious spirit, who you are being, that refers to your mental state that's in fucking stone. It cannot change because it's your reticular activating system. That's your inner self. It is made up of all of your, again, experiences, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your intentions. That creates your aura. That's your vibrational signature. It's just like your fingerprint. No two people on this planet have the same vibrational signature. That's what you send out. We emit our vibrational signature. You might want to know. Does anybody not know their your vibrational signature? I talk to people every day. That's all I do is vibrational signature reports. Now remember, your vibrational signature should be called your verbs or your, like in the movie Black Panther, vibranium. That's why they said Wakanda was the most powerful, because it has something, and that is melanin 10x verbs. So I put that inside of the book, Black Magic. Now, it 10x any verb. So when you say, shit, man, I'm broke, 10x that Negro's brokenness. You say, oh, man, I'm tired, man. 10x that Negro's tiredness. So you are 10 times more, or 10 times more empowered. That's why it is done unto you, like the Bible says. Now, there is a molecular vibrational signature. I got to say it again, slow. In chemistry, you know, in chemistry, researchers have studied and they found that the molecules inside of each one of your cells, they behave and they interact. They use what is called a vibrational spectroscope. They can analyze your own molecular vibration. And your own molecular vibration, they have the technology now. That's what artificial does. Artificial intelligence, now, this is crazy. You could think of an apple. They can scan your brain using an STM. It's called a scanning tunnel microscope, STM technology. It's just coming out. We'll be talking about it next week. It was developed at Cornell University. And that image in your brain that you're thinking, they can pick it up. They've always been able to read your thoughts. Now I can read your imaginations. I can read your wishes, your dreams, your hopes, your desires. Your vibrational signature can be identified because each neuron in your brain holds that image. And when you get left brain and right brain holding the same image, that image drops down into your hands. And so I can tell what's going to manifest in your life using the STM technology. Guess who else can tell? The government. So let's say you get an ideal and you got a secret you don't tell nobody, and then you find somebody else doing your exact business plan. They use the STM technology on your ass. That's how all the billionaires, you know my boy from Apple. Oh, you know, like BlackRock. That's how they siphon, especially in the hood. So let's say you come up with a nice beat and nice music you ain't told nobody yet. Somebody else develops the exact same thing that you were thinking. They just took it out of your head and put it on your paper before you because they got the funding. Now this is, way down the road, but what is the point? What does that got to do with me today? Manifesting my dreams, my destiny. Once you understand that the ideal that the universe mirrors back to us, who we are being in our core unconscious state, not what we are praying and thinking in our conscious state, you will do what I do. Monitor your unconscious state. How? Look at your car, your house, your monkey, your squirrel, your husband, your body. That's your vibrational equivalent. Whatever in your physical reality is held together by your mental mentality. Whatever is in your physical reality is held together by your mind or your mental mentality. So to change the physical reality, change your molecular vibrational mentality. So your protons and your pronons together, they interweave to establish a specific photon emitter. That's what they call it. And it creates what they call a hexagonal pattern that's called cymatics. In other words, your vibrational properties, they emit like hands that manipulate subatomic particles that create your reality. You got a personal, vibrational handler. We put it that way. You, as a programmer, have created your own personal vibrational handler. It goes in and it molds, manipulates subatomic particles called quarks, quinons, and muons into, they purposely manipulate or mold to fit your unconscious belief that you hold. That's your vibrational signature. So right now as I'm talking to you, the reticular activating system is saying, man, that nigga don't know what the fuck he talking about. Or are you saying that, damn, this is a good, especially if you're into biology like I am. And if you're into psychology, because I don't do religion because I like religion, because religion is actually more powerful than biology. But nobody that's in religion knows how religion works. So nobody can tell me how Jesus turned water into wine. Now, I can tell you, but do you know? Nobody can tell me how Jesus transfigured himself on the Mount of Olives. You can transfigure yourself on the mount, you can do, because Jesus said the same thing I have done, you can do. But I don't know nobody that goes to church that can tell me the purpose of the church. Why does the church have a steeple on top of it? Because that's how you siphon energy. Why do we worship before the word? But that's how you bypass the frontal lobe to get into the unconscious brain. That's how you program people. How do you wash people's brains? You got to get them into the fastest way to get somebody into an emotional state is through music, specifically music that creates that creates a elevated emotional state. So when you cry during praise and worship, whatever comes after that immediately goes directly into the unconscious brain. And it's accepted by the unconscious brain as fact, because the frontal lobe challenges any thought that comes into your brain. But if I can turn off your frontal lobe, I got complete access to program you. So the church is a place where you go to turn off your brain. Now, that's not bad. It ain't good either. It just is. So do your preacher know that? Probably not. But since I was a preacher, I had to know what the fuck I was doing. I want to know how Jim Jones got everybody to drink purple Kool-Aid and kill themselves. I want to know. I want to know how my mom was going out and doing the stuff that she was doing. I want to know. I want to know how come TD Jakes got a big-ass church up there in Dallas. I want to know right now here in San Antonio, there's a place called Cornerstone. Pastor Hagee, dude's old as dirt. Now his son is over there. They still got thousands of people over there. They got no product. They got millions of dollars. How much money you got? How come? I want to know the church I was going. The pastor and his wife, they still got a big ass house. And I remember when it was big. I was there. One of my friends, his name was Elder Bart. He was a Spanish dude. I still remember him. Well, guess where he's at? He's dead. Been dead. I was how come everybody that left that church died? Because the person, they told him if you leave, you're going to get divorced, you're going to die. Last I heard, that's called witchcraft. Every church does it, though. They just don't know. But that doesn't give you an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse, especially if you're over the age of 21. All I do is I tell you why shit works and doesn't work with $100,000 guaranteed, because I research shit based upon cosmology, theology, and biology. And based upon all of the research on the planet, the way that the human brain works is crazy. You would not believe it. Your brain does not care about facts. All the stuff you put an emphasis on, you put an emphasis on the wrong thing. You're not putting emphasis on repetition and emotion. Even the Bible says faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. Even the Bible says faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. If you break that down, it'll change your life. If you read Hebrews 11:3, I'm paraphrasing, you want to say that, and by this the worlds, by the word, the worlds were framed. Anybody look at that word framed in the original text? I triple dare you to look it up. Hebrews 11:3. I'm paraphrasing. I've been teaching this shit for 30 years. This is how I live my life, based upon the word of God, not religion. I do not do religion. Don't disrespect me like that no more. Okay, I'm just playing out. Hey, it's my birthday. I can act a fool on my birthday, right? Right, Dr. Martinet? Dr. Martinet, I can act a fool, y'all. Okay, I'm just playing. See, Hebrews 11:3, when you understand that the worlds, plural, that means it's more than one, homie. This is how you create worlds. Is there anybody want to change their life today? It says the worlds were framed how? By the word. Now, let's close with these three words so you can learn how to manifest anything you want consciously, not this unconscious shit. Number one.
Strong's G 2675. Catartizo. Catartizo.
Now, go and ask your preacher. Preacher, what does catartizo mean? The preacher going to look at you dumbfounded because he ain't never looked the shit up. No, it's not his fault. He's just a preacher. He's not a maestro. Now, I would rather die than live in a world where I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know about you. That word, catartizo, means to render sound complete. To render sound, what I'm doing right now. It means to frame sound. So this has to be a sound, frequencies, waves, verbs, vibration. Now, remember, all of these words, let's just go a couple of words deep. All of these words have words underneath them.
Strong's G 2596. Kata. Kata.
So he just divided kata from tito. So when you look at that word kata, again, that word just simply means down from. So we got it says sound, it says down from, throughout, according to, kind of like past, present, and future. So you make a sound. That sound that you're making, it came down from God, it's coming from you, or come up from hell. Come on, preacher. So you making a sound, but that sound you making is coming from your neocortex, heaven, crown chakra, paleocortex, your heart, or what they call reptilian cortex, reptile, or your gut. Now, don't get the terms confused based upon the dominant culture's definition. The word reptile, the word reticular, it literally just simply means repetition. Is there anybody on this call that learned your ABCs, multiplication tables, how to talk, everything in life? Is there anybody on this call learn from instant miracle, miraculous, wake up, you fluent in Spanish? Is there anybody that did not learn from repetition? Please text me so that way I can send you that your 100,000. Is there anybody that did not learn from repetition? Is there anybody that was born? Did you come out of the womb fucking playing a guitar, driving your car like you was a newborn? That give me the keys, Dad. Going around the block. Anybody? Anybody was born fluent in 3 languages? Everybody that I've ever met, you learn from repetition. You learn from observation. You was a baby, you watch your mama do something, and you just did what is called rapido. Everybody did. That's what it means. Secondly,
G 739. Artios. Artios.
so artios, that Greek word means fitted. So you're supposed to make sound. I'm supposed to be speaking something that is fitted. Artios. Artios. And you know what? If you keep going down, you know what it says? Special aptitude for given use. In other words, you're supposed to be talking to some shit that has special aptitude for given use. I mean, in other words, I'm saying something that has value for a specific use. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. Now, remember, what are we talking about? How to manifest. So if you want to manifest, you should be saying something that has use. Man, don't be talking to me about loving hip-hop and the basketball wives. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm not interested in that, bro. That's why I don't like hanging out with the average Negro. Why? He ain't talking about nothing. I've been on this planet now 61 years. How many more birthdays I got? How many more Christmases I got? See, I'm conscious now. I'm aware. I used to laugh when people when I was in my 20s, because I was like, shit, I'm gonna be here forever. That's why I like talking to young people. Like they have no construct of time. When you was thinking back when you was in high school, was you thinking about like, damn, when I get 60, I want to do? Man, 60 was so far away. It was like 60 was like, man, when I was a kid, like, man, 60, you was, damn, dog, you fucking old as dirt. So Janiyah like tell all her little friends and stuff, yeah, how old is your bonus daddy? Like, damn, that nigga's fucking old as dirt. And I'm thinking like, in my head, I'm 30. Like that shit, Dr. Span, I'm still like, I'm ready to get it popping, Dr. Span. Like I'm just getting warmed up. And everybody telling me, yo, bro, you thinking about retiring? Retiring? Shit, I just got started. I don't know anything about retiring. How do you even spell that? So my frame is different from everybody else's. It says through faith we understand. So you can't understand unless you got faith. Now, I didn't break down that word because I broke down that word so many times. Everybody know that faith means pistis, pisto, and pito. It means to induce oneself to believe by words. One more time, Doc. To induce oneself to believe by eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. No, that's not what it said, brother. To induce yourself to believe by TDK, petrodollar. Nope. Your words. See, your DNA only responds to your voice. You can go to church, waste of time. Why? The preacher's talking. You ain't. See, your body is set up. God set up your genes and your DNA so that way your DNA only responds when you think, especially when it's not audible. So when you talk to yourself using your spiritual senses, it's like when you read out loud. Let me tell you guys, what voice do you hear in your head when you read silently to yourself? That is your higher self talking to you, boo-boo. That's your spirit. That guy, girl, frequency, wave, vibration, whatever, that's the dude is you want to be following. That's your inner chief. That's your gut initiative. So it says through pistis, pisto, and pito, through saying something to yourself over and over again, we understand that the world, that word means aeon, that means age, was framed. That means that shit you saying to yourself over and over again, that's some good stuff. That's why you keep saying it. That's how you frame. But what is framed? The world. It says, so we know that through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word. I think I said world, word. So to manifest, to get anything that you want in life, you got to understand, open and understand that cosmic dance, that you literally have a blank canvas and you are painting your life by looking at a mirror. In other words, your hand, can you draw and paint not by looking at the canvas, but by looking at the mirror? Let me explain it this way. I'm looking at my computer screen. On my computer screen, I'm on, and it shows me a call list of phone numbers of people who called in and is listening to this show right now. And I see somebody call in from area code 208, somebody call in from area code 210, somebody called in from an area code 240, somebody called in from an area code 501, somebody called from an area code 754, somebody called. I'm seeing this on the screen with my eyes. I'm seeing it. But you know what's behind the screen? A computer code. So let me get this right. I'm not seeing the code. I'm seeing what the code creates. If you can get this, change your life forever. Your brain, you are not seeing the code. What you're seeing is the software. But it's being displayed by the hardware. So we are all focusing on, I'm focusing on the screen right now. I have to focus on the code that is creating the screen. See, you're focusing on, let's say, your goal is to make $100,000 this year. Your goal should be not on making $100,000 this year. You make the goal and you turn your back on it. What is the code that's going to produce the software that's going to run the hardware? You must write the code. So you got to focus on the code. The code is the step-by-step system, the process that you have in place that produces the operating system. See, we spend so much time and energy focusing on what we want. God is not interested in what you want. God is more interested in how you're going to produce it and get it. The exact same way computers work is the exact same way that we manifest. So if we go back to the Bible, excuse me, and we see that everything is done through faith, that creates understanding, that creates an environment. Because remember we said thoughts do not create things. Thought create conditions by which the thing that you want to manifest grows. I'm having a thought to generate $30,000. The $30,000 is not going to manifest. What's going to manifest is a condition, environment, space, in the form of a problem for me to solve to create the $30,000. See, we are asking God for a mate. We're asking God for wisdom to be able to understand spiritual issues. We're asking God for supreme health to, cure from diabetes and sickle cell or, kidney failure or lung cancer or whatever. We're asking God for more money. So the moment that you ask, now how do you ask? With your being state, not your thoughts. So who you are is how you order. But instead of getting who you are, the vibration equivalent of it, you get space by which to manifest it. So the billion-dollar question is, when you create the space, when you create the conditions that are perfect, you got to drop the seed into the soil so it can grow. So you went out to the backyard. You cleared out an area, but you didn't put no seed in there. You did everything except make a deposit. You must write the code. Now, we created a thought. We said, God, I want. But God doesn't listen to that. So what did we do? We have a feeling. That feeling creates conditions for you to plant seed to grow whatever type of invention, the thing that you want. I am one with the universe. It is flowing through me right now. I can feel it. That creates space for me to do what? Create exactly who I am. So who am I? What do you feel? Well, I feel a little, I got more bills than money. Or, hey, I went to the doctor and the doctor said, hey, dog, if you don't get this together, we're going to chop off a limb. Or, you know what, you can't see the forest for the trees. Or you came home and your boo said, this is not working. I'm getting ready to, I'm moving the fucking out. Or whatever you got going on, that's your seeds. So unfortunately, we planting seeds. We created an environment to grow money, but we're planting poverty. How do we plant? Because you're feeling something. What are you feeling? If you're not feeling love, joy, peace, gentleness, meekness, self-control, if you're not feeling magnanimous today, if you're not, now remember, fuck what's going on in your life. I know, but Doc, you don't understand. No, boo-boo, I understand. That's why it took me 60 years to get here. Okay, 50. But way longer, it should have took me 20. I should have been here when my children was babies. I got a big-ass 6-bedroom house, but all my kids are grown now. What am I going to do with it now? So I'm telling you, get your shit together now. Don't make the mistake that I did, which is what? Not figuring out and understanding. I just went to church. And I said, well, Jesus is going to do it. I'm just going to go home, get my bucket of chicken, put on the game, put my feet up, give me some grape Kool-Aid, and believe Jesus is going to do it. Hallelujah. Well, Jesus didn't do shit. Jesus just gave me the tools to do it. Jesus left and he said, I'm going to leave you with the Ruach and the Pneuma. I'm going to leave you with the Comforter. That's your gut initiative. You're supposed to use it. Jesus said it is finished. I'm done. I'm out. I'm going to leave you, though, with something. And I'm going to make a deposit into you so that way you know I'm always with you. So we got the deposit, man. We got the tools. We got everything that we need. But we don't know the manifestation formula. I talk to people every day and they telling me how they feeling. And I'm asking you, why are you allowing yourself to feel that? Well, he left, or the bank closed, or they repoed my shit. I don't give a fuck what happened. I know you do, but I don't. Neither does God. We circulate what we feel. What you feel becomes real. Now, you are allowed to feel anything you want. You're a grown-ass man or a grown woman. If you want to feel stress, anxiety, worry, grief, sadness, depression, man, do you. Just don't be surprised when that shit shows up in your hands. Now, this is the hardest thing to do. Be honest with people. Why? Nobody likes to hear the truth. I don't know. I can't lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to do for you what I wish someone had done for me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you the truth. Everybody told me when Shmore died to grieve. They told me the same thing when my biological mother died. That was the first time I got punched in the gut. I did not have the tools back then because I was fucking 11, 12 years old. But I'm a grown-ass man now. I'm an alpha male. So you honestly think I'm going to keep making the same fucking mistakes over and over again and not learn from them? We all live in a real world. I don't care how spiritual you are. You get overwhelmed just like I do with reality. You can be super spiritual. Super spiritual don't pay bills. But if you when you're in that feeling state, think back or forward. This is what I do. When I'm in that feeling state, I think backwards or I think forward. And I bring the future to the present or I bring the past to the present. I'll override the present with the future or the past. Whichever one has more cash. So I remember, like yesterday, I was like, man, this shit's not working as fast as I needed to work. So I need another wealth generating system. And you guys know for me, because I'm in the information stage, so this is the hardest space to be in because it changes almost every month. Like literally, when Facebook changes their algorithm, if TikTok decides, like this morning I posted 5 videos, TikTok deleted all 5 for violating community standards. You know what? All I did was say, hey, today's my birthday. All my books are on sale for $10. TikTok says the fuck they are, and they deleted the videos. I did the exact same thing. I had to reword it, and I put it to music. What I had to do? I had to make an adjustment on the fly. Otherwise, TikTok was like, nope, you're not selling your shit over here, bro. Facebook does the same thing. YouTube does the same thing. Videos that I used to could post, I can't post no more. And it changes almost every day. So I have to learn how to play in that system or I got to create another system. So what am I doing? My opportunities are disguised inside of obstacles. An obstacle comes up and says, it's a red flag. Say, nope, you can't do that here, brother. And I'm like, I can just say, okay, sorry. I could down my head and I could go home. Or, and I'm going to figure this the fuck out. You go on my TikTok page, all the videos that they took down, oh, they up there now. Oh, they up there. Now, I need you to understand because this is the problem that everybody's making. Not everybody, but some of you guys. Some of you guys are still making the same problem. And that is, an obstacle comes up and you say, well, that's not for me. You guys remember the series that we did on right? We said the word right 5 different times, and it's spelled 5 different ways. Whether it's W-R-I-T-E, R-I-T-E, R-I-G-H-T, and on and forth. What's the point? I'm right. I just need to find out what type of right. That's your job. Stick-to-itiveness. Do not quit. How bad do you want it? How important is it to you? You see, birthdays are not important to me. I'm thankful and I'm happy. I'm in the land of the living, but I tell you guys about candle magic. I tell you guys why we age, blah, blah, blah. That's the primary reason why I don't get into birthdays, because I do not want to celebrate decay. Now, I will celebrate getting younger. I will celebrate staying healthy. I celebrate, call me, dog, when you get a big payday. We could party like fucking rock stars. I'll be there. Don't call me, though, when, you got more bills than money. Call me when you're ready to exercise. We're going to get in that treadmill, man, and we're going to go 15 minutes till we pass the fuck out. We're going to get lightheaded and dizzy, then we quit. Call me. Why? Frequent intense training works, homie. Call me when you're ready to do some research in some ancient texts. If you want to read the Sumerian tablets, if you want to read the Emerald tablets, don't call me if you want to read the Bible. Call me if you want to read the books that was written 1,000,000 years before the Bible. Call me, man. Call me. If you serious. No, I ain't celebrating death. I ain't celebrating fluoride in the water. I ain't celebrating chemtrails in the air. I'm not celebrating genetically modified organisms. I ain't celebrating no damn chicken breast from Popeyes that look like a fucking turkey breast. Chickens are not that big, man. I grew up on them. My grandmother raised chickens. That is not no chicken leg. I don't know what it is. It looks like an ostrich leg. How is it? So, no, I'm not celebrating this system. I'm celebrating. I don't not hang out with couples who've been married for 30 years and they sleep in different rooms. And they both do their own thing. They just got a public display of affection. But when you follow them suckers home, he calling all kind of bitches and hoes. They don't even speak. If you follow them and you go to church with them and you sit there and you think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, so I am not interested in celebrating defeat. But I am interested in celebrating and partying like rock stars. Success. And success simply means that you are engaged, immersed, in the worthwhile pursuit, not the attainment. I love the destination. The journey more than the destination. I love the destination. I'm in love with the journey. By understanding that the universe responds primarily and only to our state of being, you must embark upon a path of self-discovery, self-love, and self-transformation. That's how I aligned my inner self with my true, authentic, and higher self. The cosmic mirror faithfully and always authentically reflects back to you a reality that matches you. We said again, the cosmic mirror, the universal mirror, God reflects back to you what resonates with you. If you do not like your reflection, don't get mad at the mirror. If you don't like your reflection, love yourself. Take time out to discover yourself. Then you will be able to transform yourself. When you transform yourself by loving yourself, especially and primarily your flaws, this is called shadow work. I am begging everybody on this call to do the three things that we talked about yesterday, especially for all my beautiful God-fearing sisters. Ladies, it is your time. The feminine energy, the goddess energy, the supreme goddess power is finally back. It is time for you to walk in your power. A, B, C. You need to be authentic. You need to engage in betterment, self-love, self-discovery. And you need to establish community. A, B, C. Authentic, betterment, community. By betterment, I'm not talking about improvement. I'm talking about acceptance. Do not try to change yourself. Love yourself. Change is automatic. But there's no such thing as change. It's just awareness and alignment. You're flawed on purpose, for purpose. Do not try to get rid of, or do not try to go get. Simply accept. Attract instead of compel. Do not chase money, men, houses, cars. Instead, attract. You are an individual expression of God on earth. You are an ambassador of Christ. God does not make junk. You have no equal. You have no competition. There's no one like you. You have no vibrational equivalent. You are a star all by yourself. Do not compare yourself to Cardi B and Beyonce. Do not try to be someone else. Dare be yourself. Harmony is simply your highest state of being. When you accept yourself, the universe mirrors yourself. The idea that the universe mirrors our being back to us. Once you understand that the universe mirrors who you are being back to you, then who you want to be. Once I understood that, hold up, the universe mirrors back to me, so I'm going to self-identify. Since the brain doesn't ask me, is this true? The brain just asks me, can you repeat it? How many times can I repeat, I am an individual expression of God on earth? How many times can I repeat, I am one with the universal life force energy? How many times can I repeat, when you've seen me, you've seen the Father? How many times can I repeat, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, all who rise up against me shall fall? How many times can I repeat, God wishes to do exceedingly abundantly above anything that I can ask or think? How many times can I repeat, when I walk through the valley of shadow and death, I will fear no evil? How many times can I repeat, I've been young, now I am old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. How many times can I repeat it with an elevated emotional response? That's all the brain cares about. And I can repeat it often. So you see, Brother Mitch, brother, it has nothing to do with our ability, Brother Mitch. It just has to do with our availability. So I'm available. I am mentally available to use Tiptis, Pistu, and title to induce myself to believe that greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. That no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and all who rise up against me shall fall. So the fact that I'm able to repeat it with an elevated emotional response, which means I believe it, the universe allows me to achieve it. Brothers and sisters, the universe is your mirror, but it doesn't mirror back to you what you want and what you pray for and what you think. It only mirrors back to you who you are. So my question to you today is, who are you? Are you just a little country boy or country girl from some little back hole town in, Tupelo, Mississippi? Or are you an ambassador of Christ here to establish the kingdom of God on earth? Who are you? Walk in your power. I love you. It's my birthday. Let's get this party started. God bless.